that loaded up. All right, so we have reason number 5. We're getting into the back end, top 5. So the economy versus abortion. So economy versus abortion. I think that's again a male versus female. So you'll still see that gender divide on topics, even as we possibly get further up the list. But economy versus abortion, that's typically men versus women. Men hold the economy, as we've seen in the, I think, number 7, the gender voting gap. We see that men care more about the economy, by and large, more than women, versus women, I think, is for abortion. So there's going to be this big emphasis on economy versus abortion this election cycle as well. And that's what the left is banking on, that the abortion issue will win them the keys to the White House. I just don't think that is the case. I think that there's too much going on with the economy, and I think the American people don't like it. So I think we even see that in the polls. I think most of the polls, the economy and immigration are the top of mind of voters, and I think it's abortion number 3. So it's typically, yeah, that's right. It's typically the economy, immigration, and then abortion. So, and we're discovering after Hurricane Helene, immigration, or at least illegal immigration, has a major impact on the economy. That money that could have went to American families in the Western Carolinas, especially Western North Carolina, could have used that money that they supposedly also ran out of during FEMA, because I believe the Biden administration used that money for illegal immigration, but I could be wrong on that. So let's go ahead and load up the video that we have for this. Let's go ahead. And here we go.
And Amy will start with the Cook Political Report, out with a new look at the 2024 race and the issues that matter most to likely swing state voters. In a new survey that is out today, Donald Trump has a lead within the margin of error in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. And he and President Joe Biden are tied in Wisconsin. Swing state voters say the economy is the issue that matters most to them, with their own cost of living being the best way to measure it. They also say they are more worried about Biden setting economic policy than about Trump setting abortion policy. And Biden's age is also seen as more of a concern than Trump's temperament and legal issues. Amy, break this down for us, if you could.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. And we looked at voters in all of those important battleground states, because we know that those are the states that are ultimately going to decide the next president. And, sometimes politics is complicated and sometimes it's not. In this case, it's not all that complicated. Voters really are frustrated and really disillusioned about the cost of things. It is driving how they think about politics right now. It's the lens through which they are viewing this election, and that helps Donald Trump a lot.
So, as you can see from that clip, that even of course it's a different campaign with Harris, but I don't think that especially since Kamala Harris herself stated that there's not much room or difference between her and Joe Biden when it comes to policy, that most voters trust Trump with the economy over Democrats with abortion. And even if Kamala Harris were to be elected president, she does not have the votes to nationalize abortion. I think they can get rid of the filibuster, but the Democrats should actually, what's that old saying? Those who fail to remember history are doomed to repeat it. The Democrats nuked the nuclear option, I think with Harry Reid back in 2013, to get Obamacare passed through. Was it 2013? Can't remember which year. But either way, the Democrats are the one that wrote the rule that essentially you had to have 2/3 of the senators, which were essentially 66 and a half, since you need the Trump's weight. That's 67 senators that you need. Now you only need 60, I believe, right? Well, the Democrats nuked that so they could pass through Obamacare, and the Republicans then used that to hold up Merrick Garland's seat, or supposed seat of Justice, is it Alito? No, not Alito. I can't remember the justice that died, but they essentially stopped Merrick Garland from getting that seat until after the 2016 presidential election, in which they were then able to nominate Judge Gorsuch, and then Judge Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett, because they had power in the Senate. So if the Democrats remember their history, they would know that it's probably not a good idea to nuke the filibuster so you could ram through abortion, because when the Republicans are in power, what do you think they're going to do? All right, so let's go ahead, and I have another video here that we're going to check out.
Is it positive? Is it negative? Now, these are not great numbers for either one. Trump 43 positive, 51 negative. He's 8 points underwater, you might say. But look at Harris. Exact same positive score, and that negative number almost in the exact same place. And this is it. The last time we polled this question after that debate, Harris had really made up ground in this area. Look, she had a positive rating, 48 to 45. So that advantage has all in the last few weeks in our poll washed away for her. Then there's some issues, some characteristics here. These are advantages in red here that you see for Trump now versus September. On the immigration and the border, we asked voters who would be better on this. In September, Trump had a big advantage. It's gotten bigger. On inflation and the cost of living, Trump's advantage now hits double digits. And on the question of who represents change, Harris had the advantage in September. She still does, but lower. So significant because voters are telling us change is a critical issue for them, not the direction you want to be going in there, Steve. No, absolutely not. And maybe a reason for that, too, is remember, she's the VP in an unpopular administration. Look, we asked Joe Biden's policies as president. Do you think they're helping or hurting your family? Look at that. Almost 2 to 1 say hurting more than helping. His job approval rating is in the low 40s. And then here's the twist. When you ask folks, when Trump was president, were his policies helping or hurting? Look at that difference. 44% say helping, 31% say they hurt. So retrospectively, Trump is getting some numbers here. Maybe he didn't even get when he was president. And then this.
All right, so again, you see basically what I just stated, that Americans are not, by and large, happy with the policies of the current administration, in which Kamala Harris has not differentiated herself from Joe Biden's economic policies or pretty much any of his policy prescriptions. So therefore, that, in my opinion, is also transferring to her campaign, which is why she's not doing so well despite all the coordinated attacks with the help of the media on Trump.